Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Superconscious Abundance Activation call. My name is Tabitha MacDonald. I am an intuitive coach, and I teach people how to create more of what they love using the superconscious and intuition. Today, we're going to talk about superconscious money and manifesting more abundance into your life. This is, I think, for me, probably one of the areas I've struggled with the most in the last few years, and also the one I'm most excited about bringing to my membership, to my clients, because I've seen it happen really, really fast when we get everyone in the right structure. So today we're going to go over what is superconscious recode, how to use it to manifest more money, and how to take aligned action with the intuitive guidance that you receive from your higher self. If you're new to the superconscious work, don't worry, I'm going to explain what that means. But when it comes to removing barriers, money is probably one of the most important ones because a lot of heart-centered entrepreneurs or kind of like soul-led, intuitive healer types tend to struggle with asking for their worth and for making the kind of money that their higher self wants to gift them, that the universe wants to align them with. I'll just tell you a little backstory. When I was 16 years old, I found myself homeless, not found myself, but I had kind of a rough upbringing. I grew up in a very poverty consciousness home and with a single mom and a deadbeat stepdad who didn't help at all. And money was a constant conflict for me growing up. And I just had this kind of little niggly voice in my head that kept saying, like, if you can learn how to make money, you'll be free of this. And when I was 16, pretty much my whole youth, I really focused on getting smart because I thought if I could get smart enough, I could get good enough grades, if I could get an education, then I could get out of poverty. And when I was 16, I came home. My mom was on her third husband, and they had moved, and I was homeless basically. And they had moved while I was off visiting distant relatives. And I was very lost because I had a plan, right? I had a plan to get through college, to get scholarships. And here I am, and my plan has now dropped out from under me. And I didn't know what to do or how I was going to survive, let alone follow through with creating a non-poverty life. And, fast forward 10 years and, well, 12 years, and I had worked my way into a corporate job. And I was at the high, like as a project manager for Intel, which was a big corporation. It was what I thought I should be doing at 28 years old. Because I thought, well, if I could get smart enough, if I can work hard enough, I'll be able to get the kind of financial success that will set me free, right? So that I can finally be free. And I had created a wonderful career and I was making really good salary. And then the dot-com industry crashed. And I remember thinking like, I actually don't like who I am in this corporate job. I don't like me here. I'm aggressive. I don't feel like me. I feel like I've had to become something that I'm not in order to be successful. Have you ever had that experience where you were like you caught the thing that you worked for and then you realized it didn't give you what you wanted? That's kind of how I felt. And I remember the day I walked in and I looked at the sea of cubicles and I said to myself, I'll die here if I have to stay. And since I was in marketing, we had major layoffs. And I remember thinking like, one, I'll die here, but also I worked really hard for this. So I don't really know what the right answer is. And there's a lot of times in my life where I haven't known what the right answer was moving forward. And another time was when I was getting a divorce. I didn't want to get a divorce. Like, who wants to get a divorce, right? And my husband had lost his battle with his alcoholism, and we were really having a hard time. And I knew I had to leave only because one night the police showed up and they said, ma'am, it's time for you to get real honest about your life. You have to make some hard decisions right now. And I was angry. I was really angry because I finally had the life I wanted. And I felt like something outside of me was taking it away, like my husband's drinking problem was taking it away from us. I had two little kids and I was a stay-at-home mom and I had no idea how I was going to support us. And it reminded me that, like, in that moment, it was like these are the times where we have to pull from a strength so deep inside that you're gonna like have this magnetic force pull you towards a new future and really trust and surrender to a power outside of us. And I think that's kind of like the crux of intuition, right? It's trusting in invisible guidance and following through with the information that comes through. And that's what I want to teach you how to do today, show you how it works, how to be in the right structure of creating financial abundance for yourself, and then what stops you. Because if there wasn't something stopping you, you'd have it already. You'd already have the kind of financial abundance and wealth that you desire, that you may have had a vision for. Um, so we are going to first talk about structure. This was something that I really love structure because most of our problems can be resolved when we're in the right structure. So if you think about it, I want you to think about, actually, let's do this really quick before I like do any education. I want you to close your eyes for a moment, and I want you to just choose to get like a really clear vision. And if you've never done this before, don't worry about it. Just pretend like you know exactly what I'm talking about for a second. I want you to think about if somebody gave you $10,000 a day for the rest of your life and money was never an issue for you again, what would you be doing with your time, with your life? How would you be spending your time? What would you want to be doing? And just allow yourself to really step into it. How would you feel if money were no longer an issue for you? When I step into that, I feel very free. I feel open and I feel just love, unconditional love. How is it that you feel there? And maybe type it in if you've come up with something and share with others. Because the truth of all of this is that that's what you're really after. The money is a vehicle to get you there. But the thing you're really after is how you'll feel once you have it. So I want you to really connect in while I'm talking. What do you feel? Yeah, ease. I love that. Ease and flow. That's a big one for me. Secure, stable, and safe. Yeah, that's a big one for me. Liberated, purposeful, right? Anchor those emotions in because that's what you're really after. And I want you to remember those emotions because we're going to be using them later on in the process. So I want you to think about this structure because your structure, your focus creates your reality. And when you're in the wrong structure of needing to fix yourself or needing to scramble or trying to escape your poverty, like I did most of my life, then I have to keep creating more poverty so I can keep escaping it. It's like I was in this poverty cell and no matter how hard I worked or what career I got or how much money I built or how much I did, my unconscious, because it was structured around escaping poverty, kept pulling me back to a poverty mindset, kept pulling me back into I'm poor, which means I have to fight my way out of being poor so that I can feel free. Do you see how that works? So I want you to think about those types of structures because we all have a structure or an unconscious program that we're trying to resolve. Mine was always like, I'll prove you all wrong and I'll create success so that you'll all have been wrong about me. Because I grew up in a really dysfunctional home And the more dysfunction that your family of origin has, the more complex your money beliefs, your mindset is around what you're allowed to earn, how much money you're allowed to receive, even that you have to work hard to have money. Because there's a lot of people out there who don't have to work hard to have money. Can you think of anyone? But someone who wins the lottery. Did you know? I think it's like the statistics on lottery winners who lose the money and actually go into worse debt after they've won it is like astronomical. I think it's like 95% because they were never in a wealth structure. They didn't understand how to manage it. They didn't understand how to hold the energy or integrity of someone who was wealthy because they didn't have the identity of someone who was wealthy. They have the identity of someone who won it and lost it, won it and lost it. So I want you to think about like if you did win the lottery, do you have the identity of someone who would know what to do with the money? And would you be able to hold the integrity and the energy of that much financial abundance? Or would it scare the crap out of you? And I know sometimes we think that, like, oh, it wouldn't scare me. I would be fine with it. 95%, I think, is a statistic. I should look it up. Say different, that that's not true. So, what we want to do is make sure that you're totally aligned with wealth. Mine also relates to not allowing others to help and not asking for support. Yeah, I must do it on my own. Oh my gosh, single mom syndrome right there. I must do it all on my own. How many single moms are burned out from having to do everything on their own, only to call in a partner who actually takes more than they give? And now not only are you doing it all on your own, but now you're also being exhausted by someone who's not providing you with any support. That's the huge single mom structure. I have to do everything on my own. I'm going to call someone in who's actually going to deplete my energy instead of give me energy. And now not only do I have to do it all alone, but now I also have to support this kind of like dead weight. That was what my structure was growing up, a deadbeat stepdad who lived on my single mom's, waitress salary and always complained about not having any money and didn't do anything about it. So these are old structures, right? And I think that we have more single moms now than ever. What is the divorce rate? It's over 60%, which means there's a lot of single parents trying to get by. And they're in this unconscious structure of struggle to get by. And what I really want to do is help uncreate that because it's not helping any of us to create a beautiful, unified society when we're all struggling for scraps. And I think, and I'll just say this for women in particular, I remember I worked on this lady once who was one of the first tech managers for Tektronix, and she was about 80 when she started seeing me. And she would tell me stories about being one of the first tech female managers. And she would say, you don't know what we had to fight for. We had to fight for a quarter of the salary with double the work and, just a host of stuff that you ladies have no idea what foundation we had to lay for you to be here. So if you think about consciousness and the evolution of where we're going, think about all the women who had to fight for financial freedom or independence from I mean, decades and probably centuries of not having the right to have money. That's in our field, our consciousness, especially for women, about having to fight for, do it alone, not feel supported. There's only scraps. You have to fight for scraps, which is why I think a lot of women struggle to create community with one another because they're struggling to have, the leftovers. And when I would talk to Sandy, what's her name, it was really fascinating to hear about her journey to wealth and what she had to do to fight for it. And so, if you're tired of fighting and you're ready to flow, this is definitely the process for you because a lot of women have this I have to fight for my rights structure. And that's not how we want to be in life because that fighting, that battle creates an internal battle and a struggle that makes us never allowed to win and to just receive it and to have it. Um, so what we want to do is we're going to be creating a whole new wealth identity structure, one where you understand the identity that you're moving into. Because your current reality, whatever it is, was says something, right? We all have a current reality that says something. So let's just unpack your current reality. What is it like for you right now? Do you have financial flow or do you feel overwhelmed? Do you feel burdened? Like let's really look at your current reality. What does it feel like for you right now? Do you have a boss that you have to report to? Do you have a career maybe that you don't love? Do you feel like you're being pulled in all directions? Or maybe you just feel really uncertain and unstable and unsafe with the economy the way that it is. Do you feel disempowered? Do you feel like you have to fight your way out of mud? There are 9 unconscious strategies that most of us are struggling with, and it's pretty consistent across the board. You'll have one, I have to be more perfect to get what I want. Two, if I help enough people, I will finally have what I want. Three is if I succeed enough, if I appear that I am successful enough, then I'll finally get what I want. Four is this longing, which actually creates the opposite, meaning I can never actually have what I want because then I would have to give up longing for it, the romanticized version of it. Five is if I have enough knowledge, if I have enough information, then I can finally move forward. Six is if I feel safe enough, if my anxiety is gone, then I can finally have what I want. Or I'm loyal to an old dream, and that dream has to manifest for me to move forward into something new. The type 7 is always going to distract because it cannot commit. And its unconscious structure is I have to avoid pain at all cost, even at the cost of listening to my intuition because I'm afraid of experiencing the pain of growth. The type 8 has a deep fear of vulnerability or of, being taken advantage of. And so they really fight and they just have this structure of fighting and always being at war with the world or themselves. And the type 9, their unconscious structure is I don't have value. I'm just here as like a supporting character. I don't actually have value and I don't actually know what I need or want. But if I know what everyone else needs and wants, then I might be able to feel safe. So one of those unconscious structures, and it's a little more complex than that, but we'll just keep it simple, is keeping you from having what you really want. And so, what are your current beliefs about financial freedom or abundance? And just start kind of like thinking about what it's like now. What do you really believe about your ability to generate or manifest money? Do you believe that you have to work hard? Do you believe that the rich get richer and the poor get poorer? What are some of your family beliefs? If you're having a hard time figuring out what yours are, look at your family structures. Do you know anyone in your family who's allowed to have wealth and keep it? Do you know any wealthy people who are happy? Or do they have wealth and then they're miserable? Kind of like look around at some of the people in your family and just and look for those structures. Like I can see in my family, some of them had I'll marry for money as their identities. I won't earn it, I'll marry for it. Or work until you die, like never retire, never enjoy your life. I'm just going to keep working until I die. Rich people can't be trusted. They're all sharks or snakes. Or rich people get attacked. They're going to be attacked. Maybe it's the fear of responsibility. I don't know how to manage the responsibility of money. Or I get this one a lot. I can't focus. Think about I don't have time. I'm too busy surviving. I don't know how to create something new. I'm too busy. Busy, busy, busy. Think about what your current reality is like, and then think about what does it feel like in your current reality? What do you feel like there? Do you feel trapped? Do you feel stuck? Fear, anxiety, hopeless? What is it that you're feeling? Connect in with the emotion of your current reality. And then when you think about the emotion of your current reality and you look at this desired reality of freedom, security, stability, ease, and flow, can you see that they're not aligned? So the way that your current structure of reality is set up is your unconscious current identity. That's in direct conflict with the identity that you want to create, which is someone who has ease and flow, abundance, joy, freedom, safety, stability. Those two identities are in complete contrast with one another. So every time you try to go for financial freedom or wealth, your identity thinks it has to die in order to become this new identity. And so when we start doing superconscious recode, you're going to see that your identity doesn't die. It's just that the old beliefs and the old emotions and the old fears and the traumas, they can't come with you. And that's why we create this whole new house. I like to call it the Barbie dream house, where we have this like higher self aligned vision of the kind of wealth that our soul, our higher self is like, yes, this is what I came here to create. And then maybe we came from the love shack where there's scarcity and never enough and I'm not enough. And, life has to be more perfect before I can have what I want or I can't go through pain. Whatever's in your love shack. And they can't live on the same neighborhood, right? So you feel like you have to die and become something different in order to have what you want. But the truth is that you're the same person, you just have different values and beliefs, and you take different action, but you're the same you. And that's kind of the coolest part, and also the part that disappoints some people because they think they should be someone else. But the truth is, who you are right now is absolutely perfect. It's who your soul chose to be in this incarnation on the planet. It's who you were. You are created exactly for this experience. There's nothing wrong with you. So, what we want to do today is look at your future as if there's nothing but possibility, and look at your past as if you didn't really have a choice up until now because you had a structure of reality that wasn't supporting the future that your soul is pulling you towards, is magnetizing you towards. When we're looking at frequency, because I know we talk about frequency a lot, it's the energetic frequency that you are aligning with. And that's your emotional state. Now, that doesn't mean that your future is not going to have negative emotions. It's how you navigate them, how you respond to life. Instead of reacting to everything, you're going to be moving into an identity who creates what they desire. Now, for a lot of people who had challenges or dysfunctional families, you're probably used to just surviving and reacting to everything around you. And we're going to be moving you into a completely new reality where you are the creator. You are creative energy, the creative force behind everything in your life. And that is a really big identity shift for some people. And so with the superconscious, what we're going to do is we're going to identify all of the boulders because there's boulders, right? So we're going to be looking at like alignment, meaning are you actually aligned with this choice or is there something else you really want and you think this choice will give it to you? For instance, financial freedom sometimes will feel like, well, if I have that choice, then I'll finally be able to get the relationship I want, or I'll be able to travel, or I'll be able to like hire somebody to help me lose weight, or I'll be able to, you fill in the blank. We think that when our alignment with desire is out, then we think that having financial freedom is going to give us something else. If that's the case, that secondary intention is going to disrupt the flow of energy to actually maintain the energetic frequency of wealth. A lot of our beliefs about who we are, that's our current reality. About other people, like are other people in charge of your ability to make money? Do you have to ask a boss for a raise? Do you have to wait for someone to give you child support? Do you have to wait or react for someone else in order for you to create more money in your current reality? Because what we want to do is move you into a reality where you just know how to create more money. And do you have beliefs about the world? Like sometimes we'll have like, oh, it's a recession, or I heard that like stocks are going down, or cryptocurrency is the thing. We have all of these beliefs about the world. Like I was just listening to the radio this morning. It was like grocery prices are killing us. And I'm like, I haven't noticed that grocery prices are higher because of just the way that I shop and stuff. But other people, they might be hearing these news stories about how grocery stores are making us go broke. I remember that great egg crisis a couple of months ago. And I thought, well, I just stopped buying eggs. Like, so it's just funny because when we're in that reactive fear state, we get sucked up into the lies and manipulation of what other people's agendas are instead of aligning with our higher self and trusting ourselves and how we're going to move forward. We also have definitions about ourselves, about what wealth is. You probably all have a very different definition of what financial freedom looks like. And so we really want to get clear on what your definition is because your current identity probably doesn't have the same definition of wealth. And so we want to get clear on what does the wealthy version of you define wealth as and what is it not. And we also have part-time personalities. These are parts and aspects of ourselves that are in conflict. So, in your current reality, your part-time personalities, which we all have a bazillion of them, don't think it's safe for whatever reason to have the kind of financial freedom that your higher self is pulling you towards. And we're going to be working with a lot of parts to teach them the way forward. And we have like six main ones that block us. It's our protector controller that says, I know how to survive poverty. I know how to survive struggle. I don't know how to survive over there. So I'm going to keep creating the struggle because I certainly don't know how to survive in that world. I mean, have you ever like looked at like really wealthy people and thought, oh, I don't want to live in that world. They're all superficial and fake. I don't want to have to live in that world. Or come up, what other judgments do you have about wealthy people? Bring them up. Type them in if you have any. Oh, they had it so easy. They must have had a trust fund. Oh, they're shallow. Think about some judgments that you have. I thought, oh, rich people take advantage of other people and I'm never going to be like them. Or they had it handed to them. Or this one's been coming up for me a lot lately. Well, it's easy for them. They have a husband. It was like if I had a husband, I'd have the support and I would be able to create the kind of wealth that I want. None of that is true. I had more struggle when I was married than I do single. So none of that was true. But we have all of these old structures that tell us that if we had this other thing, we'd be able to have it. Those are our part-time personalities. And most of the time, they're operating on old instructions. We have events, and this is where I think the recode is most helpful. Is we have events that happen in our lives that create our unconscious invisible structure, where maybe you made a lot of money and then you lost it all, and you decided it wasn't safe to go after your dreams because you'll just lose it and you can't handle the heartbreak of it. Or maybe you had a big life event like a divorce, where everything that you planned fell through. And so you just decide I'm just not going to make plans anymore because what's the point? Everything I do is going to fall away anyways. So think about some of the events from your past and your present that are keeping you trapped in this old identity, the old structure. Maybe like for me it was I built this massage clinic. Like why would I want to go do something new when I'm already good at this? And then some like divine intervention came in and was like, yeah, but your soul path is like this. And my current identity was like, but no, I like this. And that's the tension that I've been working on resolving. So, um, you might also have emotions that are trapped in your body. You might have like sadness, grief, anger, fear, resentment, guilt, or shame trapped in from the past, like maybe past money decisions that didn't go your way. Maybe where we had some failures or perceived failures, instead of learning from the experiences, they got stuck in our nervous system as I'm a failure, right? So you might have some emotions or fear of the future, which is anxiety. Anxiety is fear of future events. So where are you afraid of or having fear of future emotions now? Like maybe it's a fear of being seen, being heard, being rejected or abandoned. And then we also have our family history. If nobody in your family has gone after a lot of success or money, leaving the family of origin can feel like death. Like, oh, if I do life on my terms, if I do it different, I might get rejected and abandoned and kicked out of the tribe. And we don't want to ever underestimate the need to belong to the tribe, our family of origin. Like that's rooted in our unconscious mind. So when you decide to go for something bigger, to go for something better, that's a giant boulder for a lot of people. And then we also have broken agreements, all the broken agreements that we've made with ourselves. Like, oh, I said I was going to do this and I didn't. So I must not be capable. Those broken agreements can run around in our field as if they're truth. And then we also have secondary intentions. We kind of talked about this. Like, if I get enough money, then I'll finally get to take vacations, or I'll be able to sign up for dance classes. Or if I finally get enough money, then maybe I'll be lovable or worthy of a relationship, right? Or I'll be able to create the business I really want to create. We always have secondary intentions where they're unconscious things like, I'll say I want this thing, but really I want this other thing, and I think it's going to get me there. That's an egoic structure that actually prevents us from hearing and taking in alignment with our intuition. That's why we want to separate out our financial choices. And I'm going to explain that in a minute. And then we have our body systems. That could be our energetic system, our chakras, our meridians. They might be out of alignment with wealth. You might be getting intuitive guidance that's not aligned with your path of highest potential, and your soul keeps redirecting you, and your ego is like, no, but I want to like do this. And your soul is like, no, but I came here to do this. That will create an energetic tension system. So we want to resolve that so that you just energetically feel completely aligned, where your heart coherence, your soul, and your mind are operating as one unit going forward to create the thing that you want to create. And if you've never created a lot of money before, you're probably not going to know how. And that's where intuition is really, really helpful. And at the end of this call, we can do a little bit of intuitive practice and we can give you some clarity on what might be your next step if you're struggling to get it. But that's where coaching really helps, because coaching, they see coaches, especially intuitive coaches, see a potential and a path for you that you might not be allowed to even access for yourself. And I think when I was working with my intuitive coaches and they kept saying these things, it actually created so much fear inside of me, because I was always like, that doesn't sound anything like I'm capable of. And I got lost in incapability instead of trusting in the vision and the path that they were guiding me towards. And I want to save you that. So, what we're going to be doing now, so that you kind of understand those invisible boulders and structures, is I'm going to take you on a little journey into the future. And we're going to ask your future self what the next action step is for you. Now, I want to point out the difference between feminine action and masculine action. So feminine action is receiving, waiting, and it's not doing. Masculine action is doing, doing, doing. Now, when you're thinking about intuition is feminine action. It's stepping into the energy of the thing that you want, and then it is receiving intuitive guidance. And sometimes it's a hold or wait or go do this instead. Sometimes when I'm getting intuition on like money, it'll say, okay, well, today go spend money on your clinic and make it look better. And I was like, but no, that's the wrong thing. It should be something else. And it's like, no, that's actually the instructions for today. Um, the hustle, burnout, forcing control, those are the downsides of the masculine action, right? Masculine action is it's making a plan, setting goals, taking steps, executing, hitting milestones, measuring results. If I do X, then I get Y. Now, it's powerful, and we need that action. We need the masculine energy to help us bring in the results of financial freedom. But sometimes when we're only in our masculine, it creates burnout, it creates forcing, it creates hustle, control, pushing through when your soul is literally saying, no, this is not the right path. Then our feminine action is going to be listening to our intuition, taking inspired and aligned action. So that moment when you go, you get that little spark and you're like, oh yeah, I should go to that place right now. I had that happen one day when I was doing meditation and I just heard go to Panera right now. And I did, and I was getting coffee, and the man next to me asked me what I was doing for the day. And I'm like, oh, I'm on my way to work. And he said, what do you do? And there was this a moment where I was like, do I tell him I'm a massage therapist or a coach? And I said, I'm an intuitive coach. And he got really interested in what I was doing, what that meant. And it was one of the first times where I was like, okay, like I can say that and I can be a massage therapist, but also I can be an intuitive coach. And it was like one of those moments when it was like, yeah, you're still choosing that. And it's just a path that you don't quite fully understand all of the way. So aligned feminine action can look like I feel called to message this person. Anytime I think about needing to make more money, I just see like eight faces pop up in my head, and it's clients that I could reach out to for body work. And I'm teaching my unconscious mind how to transfer that same gift to coaching and to this like evolution in my life. And it's sometimes you just know the next step. You just have that feeling, like you just know. And it just becomes like an awareness in your body. Or maybe your body will light up when you think about the thing, like the phone call that you get to make, or the place you're going to go, or who you might meet, and your body kind of like gives you that high vibe where your like soul is like, yes, yes, this is the thing. Tingly sensation around your whole body, that's one that will come through. And this is a lot of the time following energy, not logic. When I built Soma, my wellness center, I didn't follow logic at all. In fact, everyone told me that I would fail because massage clinics fail. And I just followed this invisible force that kept pulling me forward to create it. And it was, I think, within 3 years, we were one of the most highly rated and successful massage clinics in Lake Oswego, which is a very nice area. And my only vision was I wanted to create a wellness space for single moms to learn how to make really good money and support their families and have free time to go enjoy those families. And also to provide quality service to get people out of pain as fast as possible. I had that one vision in my head, and we failed a whole bunch, but it was fun. We had fun failing because it was like, let's try this out. Oh, we didn't like that. Let's try this. Oh, that didn't work. It was just this fun creation of really living in the end result and bringing it through. But at the time, I didn't know what it was because I didn't understand. I just knew I didn't want to be in poverty, and I wanted to help other people not be in poverty too. And that was basically intuitive business building. So that's what we're going to be doing is you're going to be learning how to use logic because I did use a lot of logic like, this didn't work because of this. And then it was, oh, but what if we tried this? And that's kind of where the blend of intuition and logic mold together to help you come in and create the thing that you want to create. So hopefully that made sense. What we don't want to be doing is taking action from a passive, frozen, chaotic, or flaky space. Like if you're getting the intuition to build out a coaching business or to write a book or to launch a course or to open a brick and mortar business, you have to commit. And in the commitment of it, your unconscious is going to freak out, right? It's going to have so much resistance that comes up because it'll say, oh, I'm not capable of doing that. Like, I'm not supposed to do that with my life. I'm supposed to do this. But as you continue taking aligned action, your whole identity is going to shift, and the universe will unfold miracles to support you on your path once you commit and start taking the action that your intuition is telling you to. Um, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go through the process. Are you ready to go through the process? Okay. Um, First step is we're going to define what you really want. We're going to work with the choice of financial freedom and financial abundance and just wealth. Now we're going to remove how you need to do it because chances are you probably already think you know how you need to do it. We're going to remove that today. I'm just going to ask you to be open to something new, to something magical, and to something maybe that you haven't thought of yet or before to create financial freedom for yourself. And then we're going to really kind of look at your current reality, which we have already done. And then you're going to get this intuitive insight from your superconscious. We're going to ask your future self, what's the next aligned action? And it might be something that you hadn't thought of. And then all the resistance is going to come up, right? It's going to say, but no, that's not how I thought it should be. And we're going to let all that resistance come up. And that's where we recode it. And the recode works by gently removing those old barriers to success. I like to say, like, you're on a path of freedom. So, like, you're in your current reality, you set out like an adventurer to go create financial freedom for yourself. And, you can imagine like you're on a trail in a beautiful forest, but there's all these downed trees that you weren't anticipating. These are the obstacles, these are the boulders, these are those 10 priority resistance that I mentioned earlier. And with your superconscious can come in and it'll know the perfect treatment plan in the perfect way to remove those barriers, those down trees, and to basically turn them into dust so that you can walk along your path on your journey to the land of financial freedom. Um, that is the secret sauce to all of this. One, we got to stay in the right structure, and then two, use your superconscious to give your unconscious mind new instructions. And that's where we look at our old programming and we say, this isn't working for the life that I want to create. And let your superconscious come in. Now, if you have really big boulders, those take a little bit more time to chip away at. But it's a very gentle process. So we're just going to gently chip away at those boulders. And then pretty soon you're just going to start taking flow and action. And the new structure is going to flow better than the old structure. And that is what we're going to do now. So when you're ready, I'm going to have you go ahead and you can close your eyes for this, or you can leave them open. This is a do with process, meaning you have to give me permission to access your superconscious field. And you do that simply by saying, I give Tabitha permission to access my superconscious field. And you can do that now. Excellent. Now, you can close your eyes if you want, or you can listen to this while you're driving. This is not hypnosis. This is not um, meditation. It is meditation, but it's more like visualization. But you can do it when you're out walking because it works with your conscious mind directing the ship, basically. But it's also working with your field of awareness. So outside of you have a field or a knowledge base of what you're allowed to have. And your superconscious operates in the unity field, in the bigger field. So it can pull in what you want into your field, but the things that you don't want have to be put out of your field. And that includes like family beliefs and old structures. So what I'm going to have you do is if you're not driving and you are in a place where you can relax for a moment, I'm going to have you take a nice deep breath in and close your eyes. And I'm just going to have you acknowledge everything that we've said today. And there's probably some things that you agree with and some things that you don't, and that's totally fine. But now I'm going to ask your superconscious if it understands the instructions in the process that we're about to use. And if you could just make sure that you've given your superconscious permission because it is a permission-based process. Okay, good. Superconscious, can you see the desire? What would it be like to have that now? So I want you to step out into a moment in time and just take some deep breaths because your superconscious is now going to go ahead beginning to create the perfect treatment plan in the perfect way. so that you can have more satisfaction in life, more freedom, more ease and flow, more joy, more abundance. And there are probably parts and aspects of you right now that are already arguing. And that's okay because we're going to have your superconscious talk to those parts and explain to them the benefits of the treatment. Superconscious, can you please do this now? Thank you. Take a nice deep breath in. And let's go ahead out into a moment in the future when you have financial freedom. And breathe into it. And it's okay that there are parts and aspects of you that don't even want to go there. What would it be like if you could just have a little bit more financial freedom than you have right now? Maybe just a little bit more. Let's say right now, maybe you have $2,000 a month, and what would it be like if you were allowed to have $2,500 a month? And just make that small jump if you can't get to the big jump. That's okay, because that's where you're at right now. So just find a set point, a financial set point that you would like to create. And I'm just going to continue focusing on financial freedom, whatever that means to you. And just breathe in and breathe out. And just allow yourself to be here now. And just choose to get the most out of this exercise. And just breathe in and breathe out. Connect into your heart. Maybe place your hand on your heart, and I just want you to ask yourself, what do I love? And think about all of the things that you love. Think about maybe it's the color of the trees in the fall, or watching the clouds roll by. Or maybe you love watching your kids succeed, or maybe you really love a clean kitchen. What do you love? I love the way the sunshine feels on my face on a warm day in the fall, especially one that I thought it was going to be cold. I love that surprise. And just breathe in and breathe out. And what can you love even more? What's something so simple that you just love to love and adore it because you love it? I love watching flowers just kind of flow in the wind and feeling the warm breeze on my face. I love watching my children chase after their dreams and find success. I love it when my dog licks my cat's ears because it's like just tender and loving. I love it when someone comes to me and says, "You showing up today made a big difference in my life, and I appreciate you." I love those moments of my life. What do you love about your life? And now make that feeling bigger. How could you love that even more? How can you make it more abundant and be more grateful for that thing that you already have, that you already love? And just breathe into that feeling of abundance. What else is abundant in your life? Do you have air that you get to breathe in and breathe out? And just allow your whole body to relax and to get into a receptive state. And now I want you to just think about a moment in time in the future where you have what you want, that financial freedom, where you feel safe and secure, where you feel like money is just flowing with ease, and you feel that confidence and that gratitude every day, that appreciation for the fact that it just flows in your life. And I just want you to tap into that feeling of flow and energy, that revitalized feeling like everything's okay. It will always be okay. Feel that feeling now. And once you've really tapped in, what have you created there? What do you have in your life? Do you have more free time? Are you writing books? Are you contributing to the world somehow? Who are you helping or serving? from a full cup, from a place of an overflow of energy and love. And now make that feeling even bigger, even brighter, even more magnetic. Feel that feeling of deep purpose and contribution, but you're living this beautiful life that's meaningful to you. Feel that feeling now and make it even bigger. Now connect in with the golden light above your head. It's about 300 feet above your head. Pull that golden light into the top of your head. Allow it to flow down into every cell of your body, down your spine, down your feet, into the center of the earth, grounding in this future point in time where you have everything. You are financially free. What are you doing with your free time, with your wealth? What are you creating? Who are you being? What are you excited about in the world? What are you excited about creating more of? Allow that information to come through and see that version of you standing in front of you because they already have it. And now ask this version of you, what did you do to create it? What is the action step? What is my path to financial freedom? And now take a moment and write it down. What is it? And don't question what's written. Just write it down exactly as it came through. And maybe it's just one or two sentences. Maybe it's something feminine like wait, or maybe it's something masculine like do. Write it down. And you'll notice the tension start rising in your body immediately. And that's the tension we're going to have your superconscious identify, creating the perfect treatment plan in the perfect way so that we can dissolve the dissonance between here and there. So now I want you to come back to your current reality. That was a beautiful vision, but look at your current reality. What is it like now in comparison? That feeling right there, that anxiety, that stress, that worry. Allow yourself to fully experience your current reality, the whole beautiful mess of it. Look at that aligned action from your current reality, that fear structure. I'm not enough. I can't do that. I'm incapable. I'm not smart enough. I don't have anything to do that. Who am I? I'm not worthy. Look at the aligned action step. How easy is it for you to take action if you're in this structure? Probably pretty hard, isn't it? What's your resistance on a scale of 1 to 10? Type it into the chat. Is it a 10, meaning, oh, I can't, there's no way? Or is it a 1, like, why am I even on this call? I'm already smooth sailing. Where are you at? It's important that you get a number so you understand the amount of resistance that you have. Yeah, 6 and 8, good. Yeah, there's a lot of resistance. And feel how hard it is to move forward, to take action with that much physical resistance in your body. And now we're just going to really give your superconscious permission to make that change for you today, to identify all of the fears, the beliefs, all of the resistance, and just begin tagging and treating it all. Superconscious, there's a contract with the mother. I won't know more success than you, so you won't feel like a failure. Please treat that across all lifetimes. Please treat as much of it as is possible. There's an inner child who's holding on to that wound for dear life. Can I speak to the inner child, please? What would it take for you to let that go, honey? What would it take for you to realize that you holding on to that is not creating connection with your mom? What would it take to shift that today? What would it take to just shift part of it today? What would it take for you to simply trust yourself, your higher self, your future self to guide you forward? What would it take for you to allow yourself to have success? What would it take for you to simply allow flow and abundance back into your life? Superconscious, there's some past lives creating resistance. Can we please treat all past lives? Close off the portals that are allowing that energy to flow into this timeline. Please seal off all other timelines. Thank you. Breathe in. Superconscious, there's also some parts and aspects that are waiting for the masculine to come and save them. Now, this is past life trauma and it's also inherited. Can you please treat this across all time, dimension, space, and realities, removing that resistance? I am an empowered creator. Please install empowered beliefs. I am an empowered creator. I am the director of my movie. I am the captain of my ship. I am the author of my story. I am my own savior. I trust myself. I align with my higher self, my higher consciousness, and take swift action. Anything in the way of that, delete, uncreate, and destory across all time, dimension, space, and realities. Superconscious, please treat all vows of suffering, all unconscious patterns that keep you from having abundance and wealth. Yeah. There's also some contracts with siblings. Yeah. Please treat any root level family of origin beliefs, structures, or entities. Please treat all parts that were easily entrained by those entities who bought the lies of poverty, self-destruction, and self-sabotage. Please treat across all time, dimension, space, and realities. Please treat and do a massive change history. Take a nice deep breath in. And now let's just focus on the end result again of financial freedom. Think about that next step that you're supposed to take. Is it building a funnel? Is it calling somebody? Is it creating your own business, an Etsy account? What is it? What's the aligned step that you got instructions on? Step back into the person that's taking that one step. Feel that fear. Superconscious, please treat all of the fear and stress webs. Also, can you please treat all past failures and integrate them with wisdom and teach the unconscious mind that those were just education and learning? Yeah, please integrate all of the wisdom now. And what would it take to speed that up? What would it take to speed that up times a gazillion? Thank you. Can you please speed up all lessons and of past failures? Speed up the integration process of learning and integrating them into the new structure. Thank you. Take a deep breath into your belly and exhale. Superconscious, please treat all unprocessed anger, rage, and resentment. Please identify where in the body that is being stored. Please treat the low back, the hips. Yeah, please treat the entire nervous system and the whole brain. Please treat all neural pathways. Yeah, there's an overproductivity of fear hormones in the brain. Can you please treat that in the original event? That if we treated the original event that was creating the overproduction of fear hormones, the brain would learn how to live in balance again. Yeah, please treat all hormonal structures. Thank you. Please treat all 12 body systems. Please treat the freeze mode. Take a deep breath in. I have a lot of body stuff going on, so I'm just going to have you continue to take some deep breaths into your belly. Yeah, please treat the chest and the lungs. Please treat all unprocessed sadness and grief. Please treat all of the memories where they live in space and time without needing to re-traumatize the main personality. Please remove the emotional triggers and install a sense of peace and well-being, of ease and flow in the present moment. Yeah, superconscious, you see all of the parts that keep bringing up the past as a way of creating the future. Can you please educate the parts that are doing this about the benefits of receiving treatment and joining in the main personality and looking towards the future possibilities instead of the past failures. Yeah, can you please treat this now across all time, dimension, space, and realities? Yeah, please treat all anxiety structures. Take a deep breath in. We got a big shift coming right here. Yeah, please treat the diaphragm and the metaphor, I'm holding my breath, waiting for the next shoe to drop. Yeah, do you see all parts that keep creating more chaos? Yeah. It's like there was a rebellious teenage mosh pit. Yeah, can we please speak to the teenage parts and educate them about the benefits of adulting? No, I know there's not a lot, but yeah, no, adulting can be fun too. Superconscious, can you please have the teenage parts work with the adult mind to learn how to have creativity, freedom, and to embrace the rebellious spirit while also adulting? Yeah, to find balance. There you go. Thank you. Yeah, I'll have some funny, rebellious teenage parts. Okay, so let's go ahead and step back into your end result. Financial freedom. See your future self waving at you. They're like, hello, I'm still here. I'm still waiting. I gave you an assignment. Look at the assignment that they gave you. Has it changed? Or is it the same step? Look at the step and feel the resistance. What level of resistance do you have to following that step? Let's just check in and see how you're doing. How likely are you to take that step today, in the next 5 days, in the next week? On a scale of 1 to 10, how likely are you to take that action? Go ahead and type it in. I want to see how we're doing. Coming good. It's coming down a little bit. What would it take to get that 7 to a 5? Anything in the way of that? Delete, uncreate, and de-story across all time, dimension, space, and realities. What are you holding on to? Great. What would it take to get that 3 to a 2? What would it take to get the 5 to a 4? Anything in the way of that, delete, uncreate, and de-story across all time, dimension, space, and realities. What would it take to get that 4 to a 3? To get that 3 to a 1 and to get that 2 to a 1? What would it take? Superconscious, do you see all of the resistance? Yeah, please treat the fear of abandonment, the fear of being abandoned. And there's a deep fear of rejection, including rejecting one's own self. Do you see the unconscious pattern to reject your higher self? Yeah, it's an internal struggle. What would it feel like if you were just allowed to belong to yourself? What would it feel like if you could just trust? Yeah, that's it right there. See that? Yeah, can you pull that out of the field? Thank you. Breathe in. Superconscious, please treat the fear of losing it all. I've already lost so much. I don't want to lose more. Please treat the prison of comfort that's keeping you from aligning with a higher path, a higher timeline. Yeah. Please treat the fear of being punished. Just breathe in. Higher self, can you please identify all of the shame trapped in the body? There's a lot of shame in the body. Light it up like black bags. Allow your unconscious mind to light up all that shame. Put it in the black bags. Allow your superconscious to just pull all that shame out and incinerate it. There you go. Just start letting it go. You are worthy. You are already love. You are lovable. You are beautiful and kind. You are everything we hoped you would be. You are more than we hoped you would be. You are a divine sovereign creator, and you are so loved and supported. Just allow that truth to come in and replace the shame. Breathe in. Superconscious, please treat all of the guilt. I had it, but I lost it. I had it and I lost it. Please treat all missed opportunities and past failures. Please treat with the wisdom process. Please align all parts and aspects with the desire of the future. I deserve financial freedom. I'm committed to doing whatever it takes. I trust myself. I am already abundant. I will achieve my dreams. Superconscious, yeah, please treat the sadness and grief. Thank you. Good. Please treat the identity of chasing and never receiving. Thank you. Please treat the fear of boredom. If I get it, what will I do then? I'll be bored. No, you won't. You'll be creating something new. Think about the impact you'll have. What kind of impact do you want to have? Superconscious, please treat all DNA and cellular memories. Upgrade them in alignment with the choice of financial freedom. Yeah, please treat all past generations. Yeah, there's some ancestors that are involved. Yeah, can we please treat the ancestors and offer them freedom and light? Thank you. Please connect them with their own superconscious so that they can have the treatment if they so choose it. Please close off all interference from entities or energies not of in the current realm. Yeah, thank you. Good. Take a deep breath. I want to speak to the protector controller. What would it take for you to align all parts and aspects? Because you're the boss, my friend. What would it take for you to align all parts and aspects with this future choice of financial freedom? For you to protect that choice with the same level of commitment that you protected the choice to be poor, to struggle? What would it take for you to receive a massive upgrade so that you would protect the future vision with the same level of commitment that you protected the past? That right there. Whatever's in the way of it, delete, uncreate, and destory across all time, dimension, space, and realities. Please give the protector controller a new assignment, a new contract. I will do whatever it takes to create financial freedom. I will make sure that all aspects of the mind are in alignment. I will protect the future dream and align myself with it, no matter what. I am committed. I am committed to love. Take a deep breath in. Superconscious, please ground all memories we've touched today, including memories 1, 2, and 3, and return them to the matrix of the universe. Now connect back in with the golden light above your head and allow it to just pour in any empty spaces where we pulled out old energy. Just feel pouring into your body, pouring through your body, filling you up with the light of unconditional love and superconscious wisdom. Feel it flow down your back, your arms, your legs, your hips, into your feet. See it going all the way into the center, the core of the earth, grounding you back into the current moment, the current time. There's a ball of pink energy in the center of the earth. Pull that back up through your feet, your legs, your hips, all the way up your spine and your arms, all the way in your head, so that you're connected with the earth, connected to your superconscious. Feel it swirling around your body, your heart, your mind, putting you in a state of complete heart coherence. Take a deep breath in and out. Now, what's the one thing you're committed to doing to creating financial freedom for yourself? What's the next step that you're going to commit to taking? Write it down. Write mine down too. All right. Well, I feel like that's still shifting for some of you. Hopefully in a good way. What is your resistance now? If you could, I just want to do a quick check-in, see how you're all feeling. And while we're doing that, and while that's all integrating, um, four, good, 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 good. Two, wow, we went from an eight to a two. That's amazing. Good. Well, somebody went up in their resistance. That's interesting. Keep saying what would it take to shift this and see if you can get that down because you have some unconscious patterns that are just fighting. You can watch this again and keep stepping into the end result and keep aligning. If you're in Soma Tribe, then that's my monthly membership. You have access to the whole the money manifestation and abundance modules. Go through all of them because it works through recode through different angles and different aspects. A lot of family belief structures that prevent a lot of resistance. So there's some exercises in there. If you're not and you're interested in joining, I'm going to go ahead and put a link to join. It's only $44 a month. It's you get two live calls a month and also access to intuitive coaching. So on live calls, we do intuition for each other. You learn intuition, you get to receive intuition and coaching, and to be able to hear what your action steps are, and also to remove any extra resistance. So if you're not in the tribe and you're interested, I'll drop a link in the comments below so that you can check it out. There's a free cancellation policy, so if you get in there and you don't love it, you don't have to stay and I'll give you your money back. If you're interested in doing one-on-one sessions and you're really stuck, one-on-one sessions can be super helpful. So I'll put a link in down below if you want to try that out. Otherwise, share this with someone who is struggling. That's really the best way for me to receive gratitude is for you to share it with someone else. And if I'll put a link. I think I'll put this one up on YouTube and then you share it with someone. Allow them to experience this and it helps to have a buddy. Like I had buddies that I went through the programs with because my unconscious was so committed to holding me back and to stay in fear instead of listening to my intuition. And I had a lot of good reasons. Do you remember the first story I told you where I was homeless when I was 16? Well, that 16-year-old pulled herself up from the rubble. And I remember it was my dad came and I really didn't know him. And he said to me, I know you want to finish high school and follow the plan because you were going to get scholarships and you were going to go to Harvard and you were going to do these things, but that's not how life worked out for you. And so you can either stay here and struggle, or you can get your GED and you can go to a trade school. And in 9 months' time, you can have a career and then you can figure out what to do next. And I felt that soul moment, that moment where my soul was like, I know that's the right action. And I'm terrified because I don't know this man and I have to leave everything that I know, even if what I knew was bad and like trust this like basic stranger to me. And I did, and I went to paralegal school at Sawyer College in Santa Clara, and I graduated within 9 months. By the time I was 18, I had a career working for a lawyer who taught me everything about business. He taught me everything I ever, it was better than a master's degree in business because he took me under his wing and he was a mentor. And I'll be forever grateful to Ken Simoncini for pushing me and teaching me about business because he gave me a foundational structure of knowing that I could learn anything, even if I didn't have the degree. And then when I finally made my way to Intel and I worked my way up, I found that the degree was a barrier. But also, it wasn't something that I felt aligned to do. Every time I tried to go to college, like I kept getting pushed out of it somehow. And later, when I did intuition on it, the lady said, no, that was your soul's path. She didn't want your soul didn't want your intuitive knowledge to be messed with by a traditional system. So you were redirected every time you tried to do that. And I remember like that leaving Intel, like getting laid off was one of the best things that ever happened to me because it took me to England where I started studying wellness and complementary medicine. And I studied massage and aromatherapy and I studied holistic nutrition and I started moving into the world of wellness, which felt so aligned and so happy for me. Like it felt like, oh, I could do this for the rest of my life and be happy. And then, opening Soma when I left my husband, I didn't know how we were going to get out of that. It was a mess. But I just kept following my intuition. I kept following the signs the universe was sending me. I remember this one moment I'm standing on the side of a lake, and it was that weekend my husband was moving out, and I was forced to have this, there was a decision I had to make. I was either going to move to Washington and go back to corporate America and go the safe route and follow my safe path back to having an employer and a job, or come home and start a business. And I was standing on the side of the lake, and my kids are up at the house with my dad, and I threw my hands in the air and I said, "Universe, just show me a sign. Tell me exactly what you want me to do." And I kid you not, at that exact moment, my phone rang, and it was my very first massage client. And she said she'd gotten my name from an acupuncturist who I'm still friends with today, and that she wanted to book an appointment for Tuesday. And I was like, well, that was fast. I couldn't have gotten a faster sign. And then I had three other phone calls that day from people I hadn't spoken to forever telling me to come back to Portland. They had a massage opportunity for me. And I just started following the signs. And that's kind of how the universe looks to align you with what you were meant to do. And as soon as I committed, the business just unfolded in the most beautiful way. And we served over 10,000 people, helping them out of pain. And that alone was enough to keep me going because it was a beautiful creation. And now I'm just creating something bigger that scares me a little bit more in a different way, but I'm also really excited about doing it. So I would love to hear your feedback. How are you feeling now? And does anyone have any questions? I'm going to stay on. I'm just saying it is being recorded still, but if you would like some intuitive guidance or feedback, I'm happy to do that. You can either type in a question and I can read the field for you, or you can come online and ask me your question, and I'm happy to answer it for you. Just know that it's being recorded, so it will be up on my YouTube channel with this. So if privacy is important to you, then I just wanted to put that out there in case. But oh yeah, thank you so much for coming. I'm so proud of you. I can see your field is still shifting. So hold on to that energy frequency today, but you're going to start feeling it throughout the day. So um, yeah, any questions, please feel free to ask. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you. I'm going to be doing these more often, and I'll send you out the link. If you're on the mailing list, you'll get the link. If you're not, sign up for the mailing list so that you get the notifications when these are going live. And if you're, like I said, if you're interested in working with me, I'm going to go ahead and put the link in the comments below. I'd love to help you on your journey. I hope everyone has a magical day. My name, like I said, is Tabitha, and I look forward to hearing what you create in the world. Take care.